A feed-in limit for multiple inverters can be configured via Fronius software. In this video, I will show you what settings you need to do. For the master, you need a pilot device. A pilot device, this is either a Gen24, a Verto or a Tauro. Then up to 19 other inverters can follow the master. As clients, you can also use snap inverters. First, all inverters need to be commissioned and need to be connected to the same network. We recommend to establish a LAN connection to the router, since a cable is always more stable than a non-cable connection. First, we do the settings for the client devices. You can either connect to the inverters using the Solar Start app, or you can do the settings in the browser. For the clients, we first go to communication and to Modbus, because we need to allow that Modbus control can take place. We select TCP server and make sure that this switch is activated, so we allow control. All the settings regarding the Modbus port here can be left as they are. Don't forget to press save. Optionally, you can also configure a fallback mode. So we tell the client inverter what it does once the connection is lost. We therefore go back and go to safety and grid regulations and enter export limitation. And there we also set an export limit at the client devices. We enter at maximum grid feed-in power 0 and also activate this slide here, so the inverter power is reduced to 0% if the meter connection has been lost. Again, we click save. Secondly, we make sure that the controlling priorities are set correctly. For the fallback mode, Modbus control needs to be priority 1. And then depending on the fallback mode, export limitation and I/O power limit will follow. In most cases, you will set priority number 2 for the export limitation and number 3 for the power limit. Again, we click on save. The same client settings need to be done in a snap inverter device. The menu might look different, but basically it's the same as with the Gen24s. Now the clients follow the Modbus commands of the master, both regarding feed-in limitations and regarding active power regulations. If the fallback mode is activated, then the client regulates down to 0 once the connection is lost. Now let's move on to the master settings. Go to safety and grid regulations and to export limitation. There, if you activate power control, you can enter the maximum grid feed-in power. Let's say in our case, this is 4 kW. And we click on save. If we then go to multiple inverter control, we find all inverters that are in the same network and where control over Modbus TCP was allowed. If we want to connect the client to this master, then we activate the switch. If we then see the inverter as connected, we are good to go. If you see it is inactive or disconnected, then again connect to the client inverter and make sure that it is in the same network. If there is a snap inverter device within the client devices, then this switch has to be activated. By standard, communication is going via MQTT protocol. MQTT is faster and more stable than Modbus TCP, but is only possible with Gen24 or Verto devices. If it is a snap inverter device, then it still has to communicate via Modbus TCP. Snap inverter clients can only be connected to the master if this switch is activated.